Checks and balances. What do you think would happen if our government could pass whatever laws they wanted? What if the president decided to double the taxes people had to pay? Or if our judges decided to put anyone who littered in jail? Or what if the government decided to make school 6 days a week instead of 5? Do you think there might be a lot of frustrated people? Fortunately, in the late 1700s, the Constitution of the United States was written to prevent that from happening. The Constitution is a list of rules and laws that helps the government and the citizens of the United States know what they can and cannot do. The Constitution helps all of us know how our nation should run or be governed. The legislative branch is made up of 2 parts. The first part is called the House of Representatives. The second part is called the Senate. Together, these 2 groups are called Congress. The Senate and the House of Representatives make laws for the United States. Each state in the United States gets 2 senators. People that live in each state vote on who they want to be their senators. There are 100 senators, 2 from every state. The House of Representatives is currently made up of 435 men and women called congressmen. The number of congressmen per state is based on the population of each state. The bigger the population, the more congressmen that state gets. Let's take a look at who makes up the executive branch and the jobs that they have. The executive branch is made up of the President of the United States, the Vice President, and the Cabinet. You already know who the President and Vice President are, but you might not be familiar with the Cabinet. The Cabinet is made up of people who give advice to the President. If you were assigned a big project at school, it might feel really overwhelming. But if your teacher let you pick some classmates to help you, it would make your job a whole lot easier. Being the president is a very big job, and since he or she is not an expert in everything, the president chooses different experts to help him or her with his job. The president might choose someone from the military to be over defending our country. Another person who is an expert in the medical field is chosen to be over the health of our country. This person's job would include giving the president advice on how to keep people safe if there was a pandemic. The president also has people who help him write speeches, as well as people that keep him informed about things that are happening in the country and the rest of the world. One of the president's jobs is to approve the laws that are passed by the legislative branch, or Congress. Remember, that's the branch that makes the laws. The president can decide to veto those laws. That means he can vote no to the laws that Congress makes if he doesn't think they are what is best for the country. The president also has the power to approve the laws. Now, let's look at the judicial branch. This branch is made up of 9 judges who make up the Supreme Court. In fact, another word for supreme is first. So the Supreme Court is the highest-ranking court in the United States. The 9 judges make sure that any new laws or existing laws agree with the Constitution. These 3 branches of government check on each other to make sure there is always balance between them, and that one of the branches doesn't have more power than the others. The system that they use to check on each other is called checks and balances. Checks and balances make sure that our laws are fair and that they are guided by the rules in our Constitution. So, how do checks and balances keep things fair? One of the powers a president has is to announce executive orders. For example, he may give an order that prevents people from other countries entering the United States. However, the Supreme Court can override his order, and Congress can pass a bill to block that order. That's one way that those 2 branches check on the president. To keep the Supreme Court or the judicial branch in check, Congress may remove judges through impeachment. The president can then choose a new judge to take their place. But the president must get approval from the Senate of the judge he chooses. In addition to all those checks on each branch of the government, the 10th Amendment in the Constitution says that each state and the people who live there can also perform checks on federal government and make sure that they are doing the right things to govern our nation. Checking on the government helps keep power between the three branches balanced. Most importantly, it prevents one branch from becoming too powerful. Checks and balances help maintain fairness and peace in America.
And I have a couple of stuff that I capitalized so that we can hone in on. So the big focus is it's going to be Nineveh, and it's also going to be the great city. And the reason why these are capitalized is you got to remember we're not Moses. And he spoke to the Most High face to face than us, and we're going to be learning and understanding doctrine through precepts. So just to back that up with scripture, then I'm going to get ready to pull up the Bible and show you what I'm talking about. So we have Exodus chapter 33, verse 7, which is going to be the first precept. Actually, excuse me, it's Exodus 33 and 11. So, and the Lord spoke unto Moses face to face, as a man speaketh unto his friend. And he turned again unto the camp. But his servant Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, departed not out of the tabernacle. So what we're getting ready to do is now that we have this stuff laid out, we're getting ready to move over to the preceptor, and we're going to look at what's going on with Jonah chapter 1, verse 1 and 2. So it reads, Now the word of the Lord came unto Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, Arise. So that was one commandment that he received. Go to Nineveh, which is the next commandment that he received. That great city, which that's how it's characterized, and cry against it, which that's another command. And you got a semicolon there. So this is another topic right here. For their wickedness is come up before me.
Just remember that I've done this as peacefully as I can. Nobody seems to care. Everywhere I go, people are trying to cause car wrecks, and it's getting more and more dangerous every time I go out. If these people did this to me and they had law enforcement's help, Drake, he's related to a law enforcement agent. I remember him telling me that years ago. If they made a deal with law enforcement to do all these bad things to Brad, just think about what they're going to do to you when you are not paying attention. When you think that they're your friend because I was your family. I'm not anymore. These are actual records. Actual records. Hmm. I actually have the slides too. I have all the files. They're all in a PDF. Everything's in a PDF. It's documents they gave to me in PDF form. So they proved they weren't going to tell the truth by sending me to a behavioral health after they had me in jail and let me out. Proved they weren't going to tell the truth about my dead daughter walking the streets of Ardmore, Oklahoma after they let me out of Murray County Jail. They sent me for behavioral health again after letting me out of jail. Just think about that. You think about if you want to tell the truth or not. I'm up to 825 now. I'm up to 825. And still, nobody has done anything to stop what your crooked cops have done. God the Father has promised He is going to free me from your lies. You can pretend as if this is a joke. It's not a joke. You have laws that you are supposed to obey. You will not obey your laws. You will not investigate. All you do is torture an innocent man and his family. I have reported the crime multiple times. I've even said it in front of police officers over the last few months, and they haven't done nothing except looked upset when I walked by. I did this in Waco. I reported it in Waco in front of the sheriff's deputies in Rudy's. They got mad. They stomped out. They didn't do nothing. I did the same thing in Dallas at a Mexican grocery store in front of a Dallas police officer. He didn't do nothing. He just got upset that I reported it in front of him. That's all they do is get upset that I reported it in front of them. They don't do nothing. God has promised me freedom one way or another. If you cannot tell the truth to what you have done, arrest the real criminals and let me go and have my life. God is going to punish the entire nation because that is what the police do. One person makes a mistake, they punish everybody. You punish me and I didn't do nothing wrong. God is going to punish the entire nation for what your cops have done and what you were letting them do. Because everybody in this city, Ardmore and Lone Grove, you both know and you won't tell the truth. You won't tell the truth. So God is going to send a black mist out of the ground. It'll come out of everything, every surface. Carpet, linoleum, water, grass, dirt, concrete. And it will be for the firstborn citizens of the entire United States of America across the world. It's not my fault. You're the ones who will not tell the truth.